Now this one's a fun one. For anyone that's looking as a Warbonnet main or a conventional shooter main but needs a little bit of extra power behind that bullet, look no further than the KLN02 and a future upgrade to Warbonnet, Maasai Moran, with a kit of melee trap, power rifle, Gatling, biped legs, and the leg ability of Clairvoyance, which applies radar sight to self when charging Metaforce. Now, he definitely has the sleeker look down compared to Warbonnet, who's just a little clunky overall, but that power rifle is where a lot of his base damage come from, and that's where he shines. Power rifle, just to go over briefly, is a times 1.5 damage bonus as long as your legs are intact. So you'll be dealing extra damage on top of Pierce effect, no less, when you make use of that power rifle. The only drawback is being unable to defend or evade when using it while on your cooldown phase. So as long as you can be mindful of that, you can make very, very good use of that part overall. Gatling, of course, is a nice conventional scattered AoE attack if you need to maybe prep for breaking some parts. Clairvoyance definitely comes in handy on him, though, as Radar Sight buffs his success rate by 30%, as well as removes any stealth or conceal effects that might be applied on the enemy team. So if someone uses, for instance, stealth to completely conceal them or hide them from being targeted, or someone who uses conceal to negate pierce damage, once Clairvoyance is in effect, Maasai Moran is going to eat right through it as if it wasn't even there. Melee Trap as well is a pretty solid conventional part, pretty much for the same reason like Smilodon has Shoot Trap. Maasai Moran's Melee Trap is the same way, as a way to passively punish people enemy teams that like to use melee parts, or just keep them off your tail, as they would have to risk eating damage or losing that part in order to make use of it. As a pure set score, he honestly isn't super great by himself, especially with a mixed kit like his, where he only has one really good part to make use of. So I'd rate him maybe about a 6 out of 10, perhaps, in terms of his overall viability as a pure set. As mixed parts, however, his viability definitely does go up, as that power rifle is his MVP part. Definitely make use of that if you have it. If not, I wouldn't necessarily use him as a full set as a recommendation, unless there's a modifier that requires it. But in the case that you do end up having him or need to make use of him, or if you're wondering what's good on him, power rifle is definitely going to be the MVP part on him. But if not that, maybe use the other parts at your own discretion, depending on what you need, or depending on what you have raised.